consent that all members will have 5 legislative days with which to revise and extend their remarks on 5059 as amended.
Without objection.
And I yield myself such time as I might consume.
The gentleman's recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today in proud support of H.R. 5059 as amended, the Clay Hunt Suicide Prevention for American Veterans Act. In July, amidst the largest scandal and accountability scandal the Department of Veterans Affairs has ever faced, the committee heard testimony from 3 mothers whose sons had lost their lives to suicide following their service in our military. One of those mothers was Susan Selke, the mother of Clay Hunt. Clay was a Marine Corps combat veteran who served honorably in both Afghanistan and Iraq, where he was wounded in battle. Despite suffering from post-traumatic stress upon his separation from service, Clay devoted himself to humanitarian work and advocated on behalf of his fellow veterans. Nevertheless, in March of 2011, Clay took his own life at the age of 28. Tragically, Clay was far from alone in his struggle, and his family and friends are far from alone in their heartbreak. On average, 22 of our nation's heroes commit suicide each day. In spite of significant increases in VA's mental health and suicide prevention budget, staff, and programs over the last several years. What's more, for some groups of veterans, including female veterans and veterans of Iraq and Afghanistan, suicide rates are actually getting worse. Mr. Speaker, we must do more to help these veterans. And with the passage of H.R. 5059 as amended, which is named in Clay's memory, I think we will. The Clay Hunt SAVE Act will help struggling veterans access the supportive services and mental health care they need to hopefully save their lives. To improve the efficiency and effectiveness of VA programs and increase awareness of available services, the bill would require an annual third-party evaluation of VA's mental health care and suicide prevention programs, and it would require that VA publish an interactive website to serve as the central source of information regarding VA mental health services. To increase VA's capacity to meet the mental health care needs of our veterans, it would establish a pilot program to repay education loans for individuals who have received a degree in psychiatric medicine and who agree to work at VA for at least 2 years. Create a seamless transition from active duty to veteran status and increase community support for those in need, it would establish a pilot program to assist veterans during transition with and require VA to collaborate with nonprofit mental health organizations in their communities. And importantly, the bill would also extend an additional 1 year of eligibility for VA health care services for certain combat veterans who have not yet enrolled and whose 5-year combat eligibility period recently expired. Congressman Waltz from Minnesota introduced the bill, along with me and Congresswoman Duckworth from Illinois, and I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to both of them for their service to our nation in their uniform and in this Congress. I'm proud to say that this bill has the support of numerous groups of veteran service organizations, including Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, the American Legion, the Disabled American Veterans, the Military Officers Association of America, and the Wounded Warrior Project. The Clay Hunt SAVE Act will not single-handedly halt the scourge of suicide. The problems the VA healthcare system faces and the mental health wounds of war that our veterans face are far too deep for any single solution to resolve. But it is an important first step, and it is a step that we owe Clay and those like him who returned home from honorable service, troubled in mind and in need of help. With that, I urge all of my colleagues to join me in supporting H.R. 5059 as amended, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Maine is recognized.
Thank you very much.